Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session. My name is Samson. We're going to do an introduction shortly, and then we'll move to the presentation. My name is Samson. I'm the CEO of eqwefy. eqwefy is an investment platform for some of our top startups, startups that we due diligence, review, select. A few select startups are listed on eqwefy, and ones that are already backed by professional investors, institutional investors, accelerators, international, and so forth. So that's a bit about background on eqwefy. It's an investment platform regulated by the Central Bank. So if you want to have access, that's a great way to participate and opportunities that were previously not available. Today's session, we're very delighted to welcome Ziana Oganesian. She's the co-founder of New Norm. Yeah. She will tell more about it. We have an agenda in front of us, which is basically a couple of parts here. One, we'll talk about AI and health in general. So, how is the AI reshaping healthcare? What are the trends? What is happening? What kind of solutions, are showing most progress? Then we'll talk about a bit of research on what has done in this direction. What are the studies? What the direction are they pointing to? Diana will take over then and talk a bit about more on the new norm, what the product does. I'll help pull this to people. I'll provide some input myself. From our perspective as eqwefy, what we find interesting here and what our projections are. Then a very interesting part would also be about traction and updates. So during this session at the end of it, we'll talk about what are the great things that have been happening on New Norm side. Obviously, Diana and Levon are doing a lot of work, both in Armenia, but also, of course, in Europe and Poland specifically at this time. And what the visions are and so forth. So the updates should be very cool as well to look into. And then, as usual, feel free to ask questions throughout. Feel free to ask questions at the end. So, open to a discussion, and your input is very appreciated as always. Okay. So without further ado, so to say, let's start. I'm going to share a presentation. Let me see here. Okay, so this is the presentation. So we'll start with, let's see here. Okay, there we go. So, okay, so first of all, so what is happening in healthcare in general, in the health industry? Let's do an overview quickly. So it's one of the largest and most defensible long-term AI verticals. So AI is kind of progressing across various different industries. Healthcare specifically is quite promising for several reasons. One, because healthcare as an industry is quite large. It's one of the largest sectors in the economy. It's also there's a lot of labor constraints, so not enough people getting educated, not enough of the labor pool to take over these duties. It also has a lot of data, which is very interesting for AI in general, right? A lot of data that you can work with, analyze and use for output. And it's also structurally inefficient, both high value and structurally inefficient. Structurally meaning the productivity in the health industry is quite low. It consumes a lot of inputs, but the output is a lot of times not the best. And so the industry in general is quite inefficient. Right now, when it comes to financing, AI startups, above 90% of all capital that goes to startups currently, 25, 26, more than 90%. So a lot of money is flowing in this direction. Why is that of interest to eqwefy, to us as an investor, or to us as investors? Is because that, startups go through rounds, so pre-seed, seed, series A, B, C, and so forth. So we need to understand, okay, what are the startups that will be progressing, because the capital is very needed for startups, right? So it's kind of, the overlap there is very important. And there are a lot of studies showing that healthcare specifically is getting a lot of that capital too. So that's something to have in mind. What makes healthcare different from any other sector? Let's say marketing, CRM, whatever, sectors like that. Because it's regulated, that's important to have in mind, which both creates, difficulties, a bit slower progression, but it also has a lot of moat, so to say. So once you're in, it's kind of difficult to replicate, difficult to get there, so to say, right? So slow adoption cycles, a bit liability exposure, and also a stronger need for human oversight. So people need to be there. So it's not like you're putting agents and they do everything and you just put that aside. So most of the time there needs to be a human oversight here. But also, as mentioned here, large economic impact. You integrate the workflow, so it's difficult to substitute one provider to the other. So getting in early, so to say, is very important here. So it's also quite more defensible that way. What else is there to say? So, as mentioned, massive labor shortages, rising costs, fragmented systems, and so on and so forth. So, there are like tens, not hundred, if not 100 millions in shortages when it comes to labor, and all of this will be helped out by AI augmentation, automation, and continuous support. From an investor point of view, again, they are also similar to general AI industry standards. We have a foundation layer here, healthcare data liquidity, so the data, and then the orchestration and all that. And obviously, we more specifically operates in this sector, which is, so to say, in other places called the application layer. Okay, but so a lot of startups in various places across these different layers that work across here. So it's a sector that has showing a lot of promise here and prone to penetration of AI. How is this relevant to new norm? Something that we have looked at extensively. So new norm is mental health specifically is in the intersection of healthcare. Continuous engagement system. So new norm is building, and Dan will talk more about this. It's a continuous system. It's not a one-off thing that you ask and then put aside. And there's also a large unmet demand. So a lot of people, given previous friction, going to the therapist, booking, and maybe like a stigma attached to it, might not have used that solution, these type of solutions previously. Now this type of solutions make it much easier for people that would never have used mental health care. So this makes category quite attractive. There's obviously some governance complexity, clinical validation needed, but also here we see new norm as a kind of strength here in the scientific background and the research background of the founders. But obviously it's not that easy, so there's a lot of work ahead. I'm going to go through a bit of industry research as well. So how is new norm positioned there? So we've uploaded this on the platform. If you want to take a look at it, maybe click on the links and kind of go through it yourselves. But to summarize, so Boston Consulting Group, one of the premier consulting companies in the world, published a research, looking at healthcare and also mental health care in general. So currently, people are not going to calling up the doctor and going to the doctor as the first instance. Right now, as AI is taking over that part. So you take your whatever tool you're using, and then you start the flow there. So people are already using it for health guidance, recommendation, navigation. But there's also research saying that people prefer both the AI tool plus the clinician care. So you want to have the person in the loop, so to say, right? Not only the AI or not only the human. So again, continuous engagement and consumer-initiated care and AI-augmented systems. So again, this is exactly kind of how new norm is positioned, putting consumers on one side and the clinical providers and therapists on the other side. So that's the whole system. So that's one thing. This is how, at this time at least, for last year, the research. So do people use AI, or how do they view this? And 57% are already using this. This number is, I'm guessing, is much higher now than 57%. Where do people actually use these type of tools? Treatments, also including personal data. So people provide personal data, and then they get the output from there. And if you would, so this is the kind of how they see the trends and where do they think AI capacities will help them out. So obviously booking appointments, all of these things are important, but this is also kind of more kind of value add functionalities that these tools will provide is also there. So that's another thing that was interesting. We posted this chart on LinkedIn as well. So where do people, how willing are people, at least at that point, to use various solution systems enhanced by AI? Obviously, mental health is a bit more sensitive, but at that point, this is exactly where comes out. So this clinical judgment is also integrated in new norms mental health solutions. So people already maybe 50% or so already able and willing to use AI also in that direction. But when you add a clinical part to it, the therapist on the other hand, on the other side, so to say, this should be very interesting too. Also some research on WHO, so World Health Organization, that this is the outlining that AI adoption mental health is accelerating. But again, there are concerns like safety, accountability, something I'm sure team has in mind as well, as we've discussed with them too. So evidence-based system, clinical involvement, and responsible AI design. So again, quite a good overlap. PitchBook has also, so there are various research, and PitchBook is another source that I published in this direction. So again, one of the key things here, an industry that's not only been not digitized previously, it's kind of amplified with AI, so make it more efficient. But making it more efficient is one thing. The other thing is kind of increasing the market, so to say, right? So previously that market was not available for many of us, and we wouldn't want to use it. Now, solutions like a new norm will open that market for many, many more people. And also, we see a lot of momentum when it comes to VC backing and VC finance. In general, 15 billion last year, I think the number was, and you see across different VCs, international as well, financing mental health solutions or wellness solutions, so to say. A bit of also numbers on are people using it? Are they happy? Again, AI is used a lot, and most of the time, like 75% people are using those outputs, but also are happy with what they get. Also, this part is interesting too. There was the regulatory part, right? The clinical validation, all of that thing is important. We looked at if when new norm is successful, what's the level upside? So there's regulatory and the clinical backing, the scientific backing improves that picture quite a lot. And there was also a note in 2026, making it easier for companies to comply with that. So also on the regulatory side, things look quite good to continue in the direction. I think that brings me to an end of my kind of part on the agenda, or at this time at least. So I'll ask Diana to share, unless there are questions. I'll ask Diana to share her and go talk a bit more about the product and what new norm does from a customer point of view.
Thank you for the presentation, Samson. Okay. Before we start, we're gonna start the second part about new normal trends. I want to ask certain questions. Don't kill me, Samson.
No, that's why I'm here.
All of you see the hand button in front of you. Just saying who came to this presentation for because it's about the mental health, not because it's just an investment. Who just came because it's mental health? Please raise your hand if it's possible, like this. No one? Okay. It's two. Chris. Okay. Chris. Okay. It's interesting. Okay. Barrett. Samson. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right now, the second question: who knows the difference between psychology and psychiatry? Who knows? Please raise your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, thanks. 6. Okay, yeah, just you helped me. You helped me a lot. So let's start. My name is Oganesian. I'm co-founder and CEO of New Norm. I am a psychology researcher during last, let's say, 5 years of my life. And because I consider that mental health is the most important thing, even is more important than ecology, because from my perspective, mentally healthy person will not damage any other person or anything. So, and it's very important, including ecology. So, that's why it's more important than environment. We are right now facing big changes in mental health. Also, I can imagine that people who are not involved in mental health professionally may not see it. And of course, we may say that it's because of the COVID. We may say because of its AI era. We may say because our society changing drastically, and when we used to share some ideas with our priests, or we may share some ideas or feelings with our friends, we prefer right now as a human beings to it with our mental health specialist or AI tools. And when New Norm idea came to me with my co-founder Levan Hovanesyan, who is AI engineer PhD with 12 years in Microsoft, we understood our first idea came that mental health could be more effective with the help of new technologies, and data from mental health should be analyzed for the better result. And that's how the idea of the company of the Unome started like 3 years ago. And let me start with the presentation. And please, if during the presentation you have certain question, just jump in. Don't wait. Okay, just a second. You see my screen, right now? Okay, perfect. So we say, and this is how it is, that New Norm is the first continuous AI mental health infrastructure. What does it mean? Usually, right now, we have, as we used to have, like already for 50 years as a human beings, we have talking therapy specialists, right? We may name it differently. It's psychologists, psychotherapists. In America, it's different abbreviation. It's like specialists who are not prescribing medicine, who talking with you using different techniques. Some of them scientifically proven, and most of them, if it's certified specialist, should be scientifically proven for the help. And after the COVID, especially, it became very, very popular. And 60% of online of the therapy became online. Moreover, to have a certain understanding.
No. You shifting the slides or?
No. It's like the beginning. Moreover, for certain understanding, from 4 million mental health specialists, 800,000 coming from US. So just to understand what's going on over there. When I say that we have a certain shift, I mean that the mental health care is the same situation as dental care was 100 years ago. Why? Because we as a human beings used to go to dental care 100 years ago to pull out your tooth to stop the pain. So it was not preventive at all. The same situation we may face with mental health care now. Usually, people going to a therapy whenever there are certain big problem. And we used to say that in even medicine, there is a doctor. But in mental health care, there's also a lot of differences of talking therapy specialists, different modalities, and so on. And it's very important that you go to specific specialists, which is rather hard to find even in developed countries. Why we are saying, and I understand that it's very bold, that we are not a company, we are a movement. Because we are changing of understanding what does mental care like mean. And for that, I want to bring an example, but before, just for your understanding. But right now, up to 50% of Gen AI users, like Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, others, going to the products for emotional or mental health care or challenges. They discuss it literally every day. Interesting thing that 87% of new norm users, they are coming after using of those Gen AIs. And why? Because they understand that Gen AI pleasing them. It's saying usually whatever you want it to say, or you can convince Gen AI what you need it to be said afterwards. And it's built to please you, like from the beginning. And that's not how therapy should work. And it's interesting that our users, they have this understanding and then coming after using of ChatGPT and choose new norm as their daily mental health support space. Coming and jumping into the science, we are scientists, both of us, as founders, and I science and data and improve, because otherwise mental health become something like astrology. So there are scientifically proven techniques. There are around 18, and we bring all the scientifically proven techniques to the AI space. We are using our proprietary model, and the most problematic things from the beginning was memory. Because if you just use Gen AI right now, even daily, if Gen AI does not have certain answer about yourself, it starts assume. But it presents it not as assuming, but as a real, as a truth. So we needed to avoid this assumption, and because we needed to avoid hallucination from Gen AI. So my co-founder, he created human proprietary human memory database engine. So we are keeping in mind all the information in an abstract way as our memory keeping. At the same time, we are avoiding hallucination. That's why, on the base of the scientifically proven techniques, which we create as AI agents, so effectively speaking and solving the problems on a daily basis. At the same time, we have our own techniques of visualization, which I'm going to show later. Minecraft, which also help to be more effective, to understand and see your problems. And it's really save the time and efforts from you to again solve why you feeling in a certain way or have a certain patterns. And the third, last but not least, it's a triadic modality. I'm the author of triadic modality, which means that we need to involve a real human specialist whenever it's needed. And a tool and real human therapies should not work separately. They need to work together. That's why it's triadic. We have user, we have client, we have new norm, and we have a specialist certified by new norm. Again, all scientifically proven. And this is the last thing that is very important, the fifth thing here, that we are very safe, secure, and private. We spend all the resources and prove it by the monthly audits that how our data saved, how our data secured, and guaranteed the anonymized private information. Of course, from the legal perspective, we are GDPR, we are HIPAA. We lately became a B2B partner of Microsoft, and we passed that audit too. And the security and privacy, as you can assume, as a business, not only from moral perspectives, is the top and most important thing for our company. Also, we have two products when we are saying new norm. One is new norm application. Please go to newnorm.app or go to Android or iOS stores or to the website, download and just start using it. It's your mental support space. It's about security. It's about structure. And it's about mental state. Altogether, it's a place where you want to be whenever you need to share certain information and receive certain help. The second part is newnorm.pro. It's a website and product too. It's a separate product for human therapy specialists, and we're helping to make their work more effective. And whenever needed, they are connected. So a person can share any information from your application when with a specialist, if he needs specialist, or vice versa. The therapist can invite its client in NewNorm. And during these sessions, in your application, client has all the information together. So whenever you change your therapist, whenever you finish your therapy and go and trying to remember what your therapist said to you, it's all gathered in your norm. And when your norm continues speaking with you, your norm takes into consideration whatever your specialist told you before. This is very, very important, and you don't need keep it separately or have this care fragmented. This is about triadic model again. This is how your norm looks like. You just talking to understand the difference. We have these 14 right now active hour agents. You don't feel it. You just talking with your norm. And the difference you will feel how your norm talks with you. It's very simple, very friendly. At the same time, it's very safe, it's very professional, and it's about support, not pleasing. So just try it. The second things, your norm speaks with you differently. Also, take into consideration how you speaks with your norm, and it shows to you your awareness level, and shows to you how, like different tips. And also, you can make an agreement with your norm about your different patterns and behavioral scenarios. Let's say. Mind graph, this is visualization. So everything you are talking with your norm, even with your therapist coming to your mind graph, you see it in the visualize your world. You can click on it, understand the patterns, discuss those patterns with your norm. And I think our users adore mind graph. We have a journal space when you can upload any information, photos, your handwritings, like voice memos, and it becomes part of your norm too. And they're working all together. Also, you can share with your specialist, and also a planner coming soon. The first planner which taking into consideration your mental state to help you to be much more effective on a daily basis. Do you have questions about this part about the product? Because we are going to jump into traction.
Diana, I'll have a question before we continue.
Yeah.
So what's the hypothesis is that the therapists that will not be using the tools will be kind of left behind, right? That was one of the hypotheses that we had. Do you see how is that kind of mapped out thus far? Are people understanding the urgency to transition into these type of tools?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Maria. Yes, it's very interesting thing that a year ago, therapists just it was like they were ignoring us, and right now we are feeling a huge difference because our users demanding from their therapists to be involved. It's very interesting, and because they demanded from us because we had two separate products. And our users demand from us to be able to share their mind graphs and their summaries with their therapists on a weekly basis. And so they are paying to their therapists, and also the huge hype around AI really makes them feel therapists. They have this fear of missing out. But the third thing also, we right now, starting from April, have B2B clients. And B2B clients consider New Norm as a for application, consider New Norm as their mental health partner. And as we have New Norm certified already therapists, it's a new thing. We also have packages where we have real life therapy included in our packages. And so it's like hold the circle, and they earn money with us already. So that's why I'm feeling this drastic change, and they accepted, I would say, not everyone, that it's changing and they should be part of this game.
Yeah, that would make sense, I would assume. Sounds good. Yeah, that was a question from my end.
Thanks. Any other question? Okay, I will continue. If you have, just stop me. Oh yes, about the team. I introduced myself. Also, I maybe forgot, but I say that I am co-founder of Morocco Creative Agency in Armenia, Digital Factory in Armenia, and Yellow Extreme Park. Also, I'm co-founder. It was a long time ago, like 10 years ago. And I used to be a VP in Silicon Valley in Switzerland on business development and product lines innovations. My co-founder, like Microsoft guy, like 12 years in Microsoft, and my close friend from university. Rutger Engels is a scientific supervisor from Erasmus University, head of psychology department, and Hrant Avanesian, head of psychology department in Yerevan universities. It's from scientific part. So we started like in Jan 2025. Our first product was actually Neuron Pro. And when we understood that therapies, at that time, we used to name was Assistive, it's the same company. We understood that therapies, they are very defensive. And because we had the client wing and therapy wing, so we pivot the client wing into the new norm. And right now they came back to us. And we had our validation like last year in plug and play, different startup communities. Why in startup communities? Because just easier, because we are from startup community, and that's why MVP we made in startup community. And also our scientific, also I wrote about triadic modality 2 years ago. I started my PhD like a year ago, and already triadic modality is accepted by certain universities and specialists. We have seen 6,000, not 5,000, sorry, I haven't changed it. 6,000 like sign-ups. We launched a paid version only on the 10th of March this year. And we had already 2,180 MRR. And also we have our first B2B clients. They are quite active, and HR is quite active. Our ICP from B2B clients, it's very different. We have companies 50 team members. We have company like couple of thousand. Right now we're onboarding them. It's in a process. We will announce about that later. And it's very interesting because my projection is 40-60 B2C, B2B, 60 B2B. And we never had any paid advertising before, never. All the signups coming from word of mouth based on my activity at LinkedIn, by the way. Also, my followers is only like 4,000. My daily reach, my weekly reach is quite high, like more than 30,000. So that's why. And do we have questions here?
So can you talk more what type of B2B clients you kind of are in the pipeline right now? Because there are a couple of them already. What type of industries, what type of orientation? How was the progression there?
Mainly it's IT, it's high tech. Mainly it's high tech. Our fellows, they are HR departments, and the story was the following. I haven't thought about B2B, to be honest, during the Q2 of this year, but for the Q2 of this year. But our users, they recommended us, our first users, to their HR departments. That's how we started this. Think about it, and even hire our country manager Armenia, our country manager Netherlands, because main focus for me to be a US market, starting from Q3 this year. And our B2B companies, they're IT companies. They are very different from 50, as I said, to a couple of thousand. We are right now speaking with two big companies. And that's idea how they are coming, that they want also include the real specialists, because even they have right now coverage of real therapy specialists. They had a problem. They don't know how to pick them, This was the problem. So what they want us to recommend. So, and it's early to say, but onboarding process is quite speedy. It's early to speak about retention for B2B right now, but they do need mental health support, and they do need a partner. They consider us as not a tool, but a partner in mental health support. It's a quite interesting, but quite new. That's why our country managers, they are can cover the orchestration for this period. That's why. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Thank you. I do believe that we gonna be huge. Because I do believe their approach, and I do see it quite unique, but based on the trends where it is going. And I adore mental health, and my co-founder adore AI. So this combination is killing. And this year we are testing the water, because finally I like the products we have. Finally, Normie really helping. It was helping in my head 2 years ago. And our approach is to close this round quite quickly and jump into seed round, hopefully this year, autumn, winter, with a 30K, 50K MRR. And I do see that it is coming, but fingers crossed. And the rest is and we're going to have two wings, like B2B and B2C. I don't know yet which one will be bigger, we will see it. Really, should test the water, understand which one is easier to gain. So I will tell you in a couple of months, I think, about that. And for me, it's very important. It's very important to keep it in mind. For me, the most important thing, that new norm should not be associated with mental health, with boring stuff. No, new norm should be the cool product. I'm going to spend certain time. I'm going to share. I'm going to structure my mind to get my support, to receive my support, and to feel secure. 3S, support, security, and structure. And this is the most important thing. And I do see that people like Normie. This is the most important thing. And Normie, our mascot, and people say Normie, and Armenian users say Normik.
Okay.
This is our feedback. It's very hard to receive feedbacks from our users because it's anonymized. It's but I brought here the public LinkedIn, what's going on. Anur Seryanyan, we used to work with her at Orange France Telecom 15 years ago or 16. And I didn't know, of course, and she wrote this comment under one of my posts. And she literally one of our active users. She said that this must have tool, and she, as you can see, that she wrote about it publicly. She has a huge network at LinkedIn. And he's living in Canada or US, not in Armenia. Matthew, okay, you may maybe know him, and I didn't know that he told me this story when we had a breakfast, that he received an offer and he didn't know what to think or what to decide. And New Norm helped me to understand what his real need, by helping him to understand himself. Because Norm helping you to understand yourself, first of all. And this is the work of mental health specialists too. And Delphine, she's working in French tech. Amsterdam, and also like she shared and that she used Normie and she liked it. It's very and recommended it. And also very funny story about Mary Israelia. She's like a young lady user of your Norm, and she like invested to eqwefy, and she's heavy user too. Yes, Usha. Okay. Yeah.
Let me, Janajan, can you go back to one slide?
Yeah.
Regarding so you have already around 5 or now 6,000 users, and you have generating MRR for those that not, perfectly familiar with bench finance as monthly revenue recurring. So 2,000 from 600, and you're planning to be MRR 30 to 60K, which is quite by the end of the year, hopefully. So, and that's kind of seed round. So right now you pre-seed. So you will be at seed round when you reach this 30K to 60K MRR, right? So what would be, let's say everything goes smoothly according to plan, the insurance companies, thank you very much. Yeah, okay. Insurance, you can touch upon that. But the insurance, the B2B client, all of those things plan out as you're planning. What are the type of valuations you see for these type of companies? I haven't looked into that specifically, but what's the valuation range at seed level for these type of startups? Have you looked at it anything or no? Yeah, it is. The valuation is very tricky usually, especially the recent valuations of AI is like crazy. Recently, someone told us sent me some startup Emma.love, and it's like it's hype right now, and it's like 100 million valuation in 9 days. But I don't believe in this. I am very grounded. I'm very rather grounded like founder. That's why right now it's 6 million valuation, but we can raise for much more. But I don't think that is fair. So for seed round, I'm thinking I have in my hand from 13 million to 20. Depends how it goes. Depends the markets, depends the ratio between B2B and B2C, depends the retention and churn rate, and so on and whatsoever. So it really, really depends. And of course, I will come to you to say, hey, Samsung, let's challenge me. Yeah, I mean, I've heard an Armenian startup valuation of 100 million at Series A. So there you go. Of course, for me, I understand that like why I'm doing right now 6 million, because also my advisor said 8 or 10 or because they're very, very different, like really different. Because I understood that next round, next round you can't say it high. I mean higher, stay the stake higher, but you need to keep in mind the next round. Yes, and in case something will go wrong, we are here for a very long journey with Levon, and we need to maneuver, and we need to like have a place to play. That's why. So 13 to 20, it's really a big scale. I mean the range, but that's at least what I'm like having in my mind. Realistically, I think like around 13, 15. Realistically. Okay, well, you have time to think about it. Traction is the most important thing right now for me. Traction. The rest doesn't matter. And about the insurance, we have a process in Netherlands and Armenia, by the way, initiated with one of our great potential clients and great friend, Siemens Armenia. And we like thinking about in the negotiations of one of the insurance companies to be included in their packages, like for the next year, and as bigger in the Netherlands, of course. But it's not about this year; it's about 2 years, because they are changing the law and to be able to certified and scientifically grounded tools as we are to be covered by the insurance. It's going to be a huge deal, but we need to be like patient because it's not a quick win. Yeah. And by the way, I do believe
that Gen AIs, like tools for mental health, even like not supportive tools like we are, they needed to be regulated by the end of the day, because it's really dangerous when people using it, especially teenagers, pleasing, etc. It's not very safe, to be honest, but it's a different conversation. Okay, but guys, do you have any question? And I think Usha or someone has.
I have more questions, but yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Okay. We see here, and this is about countries again. This is because we have far. If they answer. Oh, sorry. Ask it. If what was the
How
question?
many users do you currently have?
Yeah, we have a 6,000 sign-ups, and we have 21% of DAU. It's quite high.
So
Yeah, and by the way, I forgot to say that we are not charging our old users yet, and we are thinking how to do it. So MRR we received from the newcomers. It's very important to mention, because we didn't decide to charge the previous ones yet. This is important. So why this is countries like why? Yes, Maria.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Sanjan. Hi, Diana John. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Very interesting to listen to you. Very impressive career path. I have two questions, please. So, first of all, what's the retention rate, let's say after 1 month? If a user stays with you within 30 days, what's the retention rate later? And the second question, is there a question after which most of the users drop or just stop using for a moment? Do you monitor? I mean, it's a conversation. It's a dialogue, right?
Yeah, but it's dialogue, but it's also journal and Minecraft. But main feature is talk space. I mean, you are right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's say the following, that for free users, the retention rate is quite high, like 44% sometimes. But with the paid, it's the game is really changed drastically. It's again quite high. It's higher than it should be, to be fair. And that's why we are waiting right now, May, which is like a very important month for us after the March, because it was 10th of March, April, and May. And it's quite different, because for B2B it's very high, because like we signed the contract in March, let's imagine, and it's for a year. And they are not paying for it. It's quite high. Like just a second, I will check. Just a second, because Lemon sent it to me. Okay. In average, is 38% right now. It's ridiculously high, to be honest. 38% right now in average. So
thank you. Yeah, it's quite high.
Yeah, and I think it will be. I mean, we'll see. Let's say we'll see. And what was the other question you said?
It was just interesting. I mean, you do monitor the. Is there a monitoring of what new norm asks?
Yeah. Questions. It's listen. Our all data is anonymized, and no one from the seat to sit. Like we see and we have AI audit, like AI checker, who monitor the conversations. What we have ambassadors on a monthly basis. Like, let's say there are testers that test, which are our ICPs, which test it on a daily basis by themselves, and we monitor their behavior.
Okay.
There is no such a question. But we have one problem right now. We have our ICP is mainly women, from 22 to like it was 35, right now it's more. They are the anxious achievers type who want to achieve a lot, who are educated and want to use tools like new norm or therapy and whatsoever to more effective, etc., etc. It's the first. Second, our FCP, by the way, men are really active recently. 35 plus, maybe mid-year crisis. So they are coming very actively. And also very active question type, not about themselves, is teenagers' moms. Teenagers' moms very active. Like they are speaking how to behave, la la la, and even recommend it to their kids sometimes. Not even new norm. But the problem is whenever it's our ICP anxious type, but and women they are stay longer and come quicker. Men, they are coming whenever they have certain problem, la 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 la, and they they are not using it as a daily tool as often as women. And we understand the following. Recently, people and we have this we have our report about new subjects, what modalities used, etc., 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 generalized. And we saw that people trying to plan their day with new norm. Literally plan their day with new norm. And when we start asking our ambassadors the what's going on, and among them too, they say that they rely on new norm. That's why they want to play with new norm. So that's why right now we are launching the fourth application in the new norm. It's a planner because new norm knows about yourself a lot and a lot to plan your day. To monitor your day, to ask you why you are postponing this so often. Let's understand, maybe you don't need to read book every day. Like stop, Hayusha, stop pretending, or let's understand what's the problem. So we are testing right now. It's in the development stage, but I do see that it will really helpful to make it even more active, and maybe 38% will grow in that case. And regarding the countries, so I will say it is because it's my network. That's why this is the picture, because it's my network. Like Netherlands, I'm living in Netherlands. Armenia, I'm Armenian. I'm quite known in Armenia. And United States, because again, I'm coming from United States. So this is the main three countries we are based, we are working. And by the way, United States right now is increasing. So we because of mainly my last activity.
Diana, are there any other questions? Yes.
Simona. Yes, Simona.
Hello.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Basically, I think we are
reading,
right?
Yeah, I'm reading all your posts, and both your speech and all your posts are very motivational. And I start with the day with the new norm, but by reading your posts, basically, I would say. There is one question I'm interested in. You mentioned that you're not using paid advertisement, but and it is based on word of mouth. This is how you grow the users. But on the other hand, I would like to know what plans do you have for the ASO on marketing?
Yeah. Mainly anyway, for upcoming quarter, we are going to use mainly B2B sales channels. And also we have a CSR, like we have a Health for Armenia. We provided to norm with special conditions, like Health for Armenia to doctors, but also that help us a lot to spread the word we are mainly using and going to use PR, GR, especially GR in Armenia, and PR and B2B sales. As to because the cost per acquisition, let's say, it's for a B2C market, it's at $0.80 to a couple of dollars per user. We are right now testing the water with different advertising campaigns, but we are spending we're just testing the water for the future, because I want to understand the budget whenever we started to do that. And if as I am coming from marketing myself, and if I understood that it's not as risky as not wasting our money, we'll of course we'll diverse the risk and start B2C campaign too. Just we are not ready for it, but but we are testing, understanding the price, etc., in parallel. But whenever we understood that we are ready, product is ready, but financially, it's you should need to spend for in pre-seed round on marketing. Whenever if you lose those money, you're gonna be fine. Mm-hmm. And also resources, as we are a small team, and as I should manage all these campaigns. I'm more on the B2B side right now, and that's why it's also not as reliable right now from that perspective too.
Mm-hmm. If you allow me, I would recommend one thing is that like new norm. If I understood it correctly, from the competitors' point of view, you do not have much like competitors in the market with new norm. But one thing you can do, it doesn't matter if you're going to do B2B or B2C, but actually you can like pay attention a lot to the keywords that people are searching in the App Store and the Google Play Market. And as soon as the sooner you like own those keywords, the better for you in case you decide to develop the application in a B2C manner or whatever. But it will be safer to like get all those keywords and appear like rank the first if someone searches for mental health application or anything like that. Because like the sooner you get those keywords, the better for your up marketing in the future.
Yeah. Sorry, I read the Barrett's message. Yes, you are right. We used to do search engine optimization and also Gen AI platform optimization a year ago when we started with 2 years ago. So it's tested, and we restarted the process. But I haven't mentioned that because that it's very long process for about the results. So we are doing it, but I'm not talking about publicly because I'm usually talking about anything whenever there are results. But fair enough. I totally agree with you. I have nothing to add there, to be honest.
Thank you.
Thank you. Barrett, what do you want to know about personal insights?
Okay, I'm sorry because can you guys hear me?
Yes, hi.
Okay, hi. Sorry, because I'm also in a work meeting at the same time, so I was trying to listen on both sides. Okay, so actually I wanted to ask some questions, but I don't know if you are out of time, then I don't want to take people's time. I just want to ask first of all, like the main important questions for me would be about like user privacy, because I know like people are concerned even with AI. Like they wouldn't want to share too much about their personal life, etc., to ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on. So I want to say, I saw like there were 4 people in the, let's say, company right now with you, Levon, and the 2 scientists. Like, who is handling the?
It's not 4 people. It's not 4 people. It's main people. It's not more or all people.
Okay.
Okay. All the team, on the slide.
Okay. So as I understand, then there is an like a team of developers that are building the app and taking care of like user privacy and like sensitive emotional data for like people sharing them basically. Do I understand that correctly?
Let me you understand. Let me say how it is. Like let's say that's that point. As I said that we spent a lot of time to really, and it was our priority, and time, money, resources to be HIPAA and GDPR. Also, we don't need to be HIPAA. HIPAA is a standard for health information in the United States, and we voluntarily took HIPAA. because we want people to feel safe first. Second, we are working second, we are not training our model on the information of our users. It's our core in DNA, how we do it. We trained our model on the base of scientific information. We agreed with universities. We took the scientifically proven information. Second, it was a video material scientifically proven. Third, we had a conversation, especially on New Norm Pro, which users and therapists was aware they're part of training. Third, so whenever you're talking with New Norm, your information are not used. Moreover, when we see there are cases, because we have a very strong emergency algorithms, like suicidal case or whatsoever, Norm informed our professional board about that something happened. And access open for to a professional board member, as in a bank. But name, surname, all the private information deleted. So whenever they look through the conversation, they don't know whose conversation is it. Any private information, city name, position, everything is deleted from there. And we see with the logs, because also we pass audit, etc. What is like who logged in this conversation, and by this person don't see this information. And so this is organized in that way that no one in the company see the whole information. No one. Of course. Because why? Because it's the core of our business. Because we don't need this information for our trainings, and moreover, we don't need anyone to be. We don't need it from the business perspective, too. To be honest.
By the way, we had this discussion internally as well. So I've come across that comment a couple of times, but we discussed this internally. I mean, I would rather trust an AI because I know it's far more protected than a person to keep the information secret, confidential. So I'm just saying.
It's very interesting thing because we right now launched the third package for our B2B clients, because we had the therapists, and we launched the package, the therapists which are not in the country our clients are. Like let's say you can take a package for your C-level from New Norm, that also the real life therapists on the top of the application is not from your country. Because being in Armenia, they don't want to have a therapist from Armenia because they're afraid to have this information spread around. Moreover, when you are going to, unfortunately, to a therapy, why it's safer to use tools and to save information in safe tools, because if they save the information in their computers, they repair their computer or it's stolen, that's it. So you are right that in case of proper secure tools, it's number one priority. As I launched the Yale Extreme Park with Tigran Chibukhchan like 2008, and I said, and the security was the top priority, because in case, thanks God, no, like we didn't have an accident, and until now there is no. Because it's a core of the business. Let's consider, because it's a business from their perspectives.
Sounds good. Do you have a voice? I haven't tried. Do you have a voice on the phone, on the app?
We have no. You can have a audio mode, but typing back. We're gonna have it. It's in our pipeline. We're gonna have it soon. But what we have, that you can type, if we speak about Armenian, Mesrapatar or Latin, and it understands you. You can speak Barbar, and the Normie understands you. And as I trying to, like, as I started sometimes to New Norm with Latin words, in short, lavche mesor, lase lavche mesor, I'm from Gyumri. And New Normie understands me very So yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Usha, cool that you got it from Hilda. Hilda is our country manager in Armenia. You are muted, Samson John.
Any other questions for anyone before we wrap this up? Thanks a lot, Diana. It was very, very valuable, very interesting.
Thank you for inviting me. Yes, Bharat.
Sorry. Sorry, yeah, I am back again with some quick question. So I actually downloaded the app while you were talking about it. So
Yes.
first of all, thank you very much. I want to say that I noticed like there's no real free version to explore the app without entering like your information kind of for the free trial. You have the free trial, but for the free trial you have to basically share your info or like Apple Pay or something. So have we considered offering a limited free version, let's say, because I think it would help users build the trust before committing into paying, even though I know you can cancel it, but I know people's intentions because I worked in a startup with B2C, B2B, etc. And we've done a lot of A/B tests, and it's always like even if you can cancel it, people have tend to like prefer to first build the trust with the app or whatever, and then commit into adding like card info or paying, etc.
We do not consider it yet because we used to have free, and our A/B tests show differently because people more rely on the products than they are not free. And our click-through rate also shown that it's okay. Also, like it's better to have paid right now as we have now. Also, we need to improve our onboarding flow. It's far from being ideal, I think. But our A/B test shown that we decreased our price right now. The shown the elasticity. We decreased our price from 17 to 9 recently. And if our A/B test shown different information, also if we launch the free version, it disrupts our B2B sales way more. And B2B right now is a top priority for us for this quarter. So it's all interconnected, you know?
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
But thank you for your opinion. You muted Samson.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Diana. Very nice connecting again. By the way, we're gonna have just to mention, we're gonna have Levon, co-founder of New Norm, most likely visiting us to our office event end of this month.
Mm-hmm.
So happy to see whoever was on the call. Happy to see you at our office next time. We have a great time every time we gather. So happy to join. So that's it for today. Diana, John.
Thank you.
Again, and thanks everyone for joining. Always nice, reconnecting with people and having a chat and discuss.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.